what do you love most about the growth that you're seeing here?
So I lived in Charlotte for a little bit, and one thing that I think is a big difference, I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers.
It's fine. I ruffle feathers every day.
You know.
Welcome to the Best of Raleigh, where we introduce you to the people shaping the heart and soul of this city. Today, we're talking food, community, and the kind of gathering space that Raleigh has been waiting for. We're sitting down with Haley Borden, founder and owner of Good Graces, a fresh new concept coming to North Hills. It's part market, part bar, part eatery, and all about celebrating all the good things in life. Whether you're grabbing a morning coffee, meeting friends for a drink, picking up a locally made gift basket, Good Graces is designed to feel like a second home, and Haley's the brilliant mind behind it all. Let's jump right in. Haley, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Best of Raleigh with your host and real estate expert, Gretchen Coley, owner of the Coley Group. This show is all about the people and places that make the Raleigh area so special. Here's your host, Gretchen Coley.
I'm so excited to get to chat with you. You know, I saw you last night at the Best of Raleigh launch, which was so much fun. And just learning a little bit about you today, you are so interesting to me. So tell me about Good Graces.
Yes. So Good Graces, we want this to be a elevated, everyday gathering place. So it's part bar, part market, part eatery, as you mentioned.
So what inspired Good Graces?
Yeah, it's a place that I've been looking for. I lived in the Lakemont community right behind the Innovation District.
Yeah.
And, you know, I saw there was a lot of kind of fast food. There was more fine dining establishments. But something, you know, I was a young mom. I lived a fast-paced lifestyle. I still wanted something that felt special, but not somewhere you had to make a reservation every time. Somewhere you could pop in, grab something, but it still felt fresh, still felt elevated, still felt like special to your everyday.
Yeah, we are definitely missing a great breakfasty, like, kind of place here.
Right.
Like, you know, it's
that you don't need a reservation.
Yeah, just something easy, and then the light bites, and I think that's a huge great piece for community. Now, you talk a lot about community, and I want to hear a little bit about your journey from business school to today.
Yeah. So I'm a North Carolina native. I grew up in Henderson, about an hour north of Raleigh. Yeah. Went to Chapel Hill undergrad, moved to Charlotte for a few years, and then came back to the Raleigh area. So I've been working corporate pretty much my whole career, and, you know, just felt this pull, felt this tug to do something different, to do something on my own. So I went back to Chapel Hill. I went through their executive business school. So I would work during the day and then go to school on Monday nights. And that was a 2-year program.
Wow.
So I didn't have this concept totally baked out at that point. I knew I wanted to do something on my own, but I knew that program would give me the resources and the tools to really be able to lean in to owning my own business one day. So, you know, I started just looking at the market and what the gaps were, and had a few friends that worked for Kane. And, you know, we just had a conversation going of like, what is this community missing? And it was a concept like this.
Yeah.
So we just leaned in and figured out how to make it happen.
I love filling a gap, and I also love the journey of entrepreneurship where you get to design what it is that you're doing. And you're a mother, pregnant with your second child. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah. So my husband and I met at Chapel Hill the very first day at orientation. Tar Heels. And I grew up a hardcore NC State fan. My dad played football there. So that was a big adjustment at first. But
does he wear blue now?
No. Refuses.
You know, some of those dads, man.
Yep. He said writing that check was the hardest thing he'd ever had to do. So we're all cordial. We all get along. But come football season, tensions run a little high. But Will is like the love of my life. He has been the most supportive dad, business partner. He's in construction, so he's been a great kind of advocate for me as we've gone through this process and figuring out what it takes to make something like this happen. We had our first son, Bill. He'll be 3 in September, and then our second boy is due any day. So a little crazy.
And you're in the process. You have just moved into a family, your forever home.
Yes, we did.
And you're building out a restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all know what that feels like, but just making a baby in its own is giving birth. I was just talking about this with my friend Liz. You're giving birth, you're growing this child, and then you're also giving birth to this business at the same time, which has got to be a wild feeling. Like,
It is.
you know, why North Hills?
Yeah. North Hills, to me, I used to live in the community right behind here. And I just love what they're doing for Raleigh. You can tell they're being very intentional about the spaces they're creating, especially this North Hills Innovation District. Everyone that is surrounding us is all local, minority, or women-owned businesses. So when we were looking for a space, it just felt like the perfect natural fit. I loved how they were getting away from chains, and that everyone that was going over there really passionate about the community, really wanted to celebrate the best of Raleigh and the people that live here and give them spaces to connect.
I think what they've done in the Innovation District has been really remarkable. And I just applaud Kane for, I love being a tenant. I love being in North Hills. It's a great space. And I do believe it's truly one of the best places to really build a business because it does feel like a family run operation.
Yeah.
So you've said that Good Graces is all about celebrating connection and quality. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. You know, I am passionate about hosting, about getting people together, about the connections and, you know, the joy that comes with having all of your favorite people around the table. So I think watching my mom grow up, she loved to host a baby shower. She was always throwing birthdays, this whole like, you know, focus on celebrating life and the big moments and the small moments and, you know,
Sad moments.
and the sad moments, of course, and being able to be surrounded by those people is so important. So I really wanted to build this to be a gathering spot where people can do that. And we designed the space really thoughtfully to have, you know, if you're meeting a colleague for lunch, there's a space to do that. If you're meeting up with a group of girls to play mahjong and you want to sit outside with a glass of wine, there's a place to do that. So we're trying to think through all the different scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're coming to work or answer emails, you know, we want it to be really inviting. And so you can do a little bit of everything while you're in there.
Like a home away from home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yes.
There's nothing better than building a business with your family.
It's fun.
You know, and I think that there's something to be said for being a mother and showing, especially boys, that there's a lot of different ways to do motherhood.
Right. That's
And
so true.
you don't have to give up your dreams for the dreams of your children. You can do both.
Yeah.
You know?
And that was something I thought a lot about just leaving corporate. There are so many perks of
Oh, God.
the benefits
Yeah.
and the leaves. And, you know, that is something that's hard to leave. But when I thought about, you know, what I want my boys to remember me by and what I want, you know, to build and have a legacy, you know, I wanted to do something like this that could really bring that to life.
I hope you're loving what you're hearing in today's episode of The Best of Raleigh. This is brought to you by the Coley Group, the #1 Compass team in the Triangle. And whether you're moving across town or across the country, we are here to help you find the perfect place to call home in Raleigh-Durham. There is a neighborhood match survey linked below. Take 5 to 7 minutes, fill that survey out. We're going to match you with your top 3 neighborhoods and give you a full-on itinerary. And maybe Good Graces starts appearing on that itinerary as soon as they open up. We'll see you in The Best of Raleigh. Where did the name come from?
Good Graces, I've always kind of had it in the back of my mind, but, you know, it makes me think of my mom a lot. You know, she's just always been a very gracious host and kind of just this beautiful Southern woman. And I feel like that always embodied her. But to me, it means that you are, you know, being welcomed, that someone is treating you with a ton of kindness, a ton of intention. And that's how I want people to feel when they walk in the door.
I think the name is beautiful, and that was exactly what I thought you would say. And so speaking of your mother,
Yes.
what does she think about all this?
She's excited. Yeah, she was actually here last week, checked out the space. She went to Meredith. So she met up with a couple of her Meredith Angel friends, came and checked out the space. So I think she's really proud. I think she's really excited.
Some of her recipes be previewed here?
Yes,
Okay, tell
absolutely.
me about some of your most fabulous dishes that you're super excited about.
Yeah, you know, I think there's always a balance between kind of a traditional Southern casserole and something that's more fresh forward that, you know, is a little healthier on the healthier side. So she always did a great job of merging those together. We always had a chicken salad in our fridge. We always had a great pimento cheese, but she could whip up, you know, any sort of salad that was fresh, that was pulling in kind of the local, whatever was
Seasonal.
in season. Lots of tomato pies, you know, fresh berries, strawberries. And so we want to bring that in and definitely pay homage to that for sure.
So you're not in this by yourself.
No.
Which makes me love this whole thing even more. Tell me about your co-founder.
Yep. So we have 3 partners that have come in, and everyone has expertise and is bringing something to the table that I felt I was missing. So,
Smart.
And that's something I had to learn really early. I had to be honest with myself of what do I not know. I cannot be not narcissistic enough. I don't know if that's the right word, but like I had to figure out what my gaps were and bring in the right people to help fill it. So, one of our partners owns Winterset Capital. Jonathan Goodfellow is his name. And he has such a good resume where he's been working with hospitality concepts. He knows margins. He knows how to scale. He knows how to grow. So if we do look at a second, third location, he knows how to do that and has that foundation. And then Lindsay and Lucas Bayless have come in as well. Lindsay is in marketing, so she is helping lead all of our marketing efforts, our PR outreach, our grand opening events, and then Lucas is in finance as well. So
Awesome.
He's helping kind of with all the payroll, with all managing the budget, our SBA loan. And so it's been a really good team for sure.
Well, I love to hear that because we do all have gaps, right? We can think that we know it all, but especially when you're a mother, I've always said I believe in mothers owning businesses and doing what they want to do. However, you have to have support.
Totally.
You have to have support in the home and you have to have support in the business.
Yes.
You cannot go at it alone because you weren't put here to be a martyr.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not a chef. I mean, I have these ideas and how to bring it to life, but we're in the hiring process right now. So it's been really eye-opening to see kind of the knowledge that people are bringing to the table. And we're on the opening team. We're working with Dusty Slimp. He's a local designer. He's done a great job at kind of taking what I had in my brain
And getting it.
and getting it designed. And, it still has a feminine touch, but still is very appealing to everyone. And then Liz Grandchamp and Grandchamp Hospitality. So she knows kitchen layouts. She knows menus.
Yep.
She knows all about just the hospitality restaurant scene in general and has been huge, instrumental in bringing this to life.
So you grew up here. What you've seen Raleigh grow.
Yes.
What do you love most about the growth that you're seeing here?
Yeah. I lived in Charlotte for a little bit. And one thing that I think is a big difference, I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers.
It's fine. I ruffle feathers every day.
I did not grow up in Charlotte. It never felt like home to me. And I just feel like the people here lean into community. You see it at like your event last night where people embrace each other. They want to support each other. I've been completely blown away by how many people who have reached out that, have been a friend of a friend that just want to help and they want to be a part of it. And, you don't get that everywhere. And I love that Raleigh's growing, but still feels very much like a hometown.
It does. And I think that is one of the things too. The hospitality piece of Raleigh is one of the things that it's hard to articulate until you get here. So where can people find you right now?
Yeah. So we're on Instagram. We're at Good Graces Raleigh. We also have our website set up. It's goodgracesraleigh.com.
We will link everything down below. Follow the journey. Like, I feel like this has been not just a podcast about good graces. I feel like we've gotten some business lessons in here too. And I love to multitask, as I know that you do.
Totally.
So thank you so much for joining us on today's show. And thank you all for listening today. We love featuring the businesses, the people that you need to know in Raleigh. And if you're thinking about making a move to this town, we want to be your queen of hospitality here at the Coley Group. We drop a new episode every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. And we will see you in the Best of Raleigh. See you soon.